Welcome everybody. Welcome to Open House AP Pre-Calculus Exam Prep. So today is January 18th, 2025. Firstly, let me introduce myself. This is Mr. Akpinar. For a long time, it's 15 or 20 years, I'm teaching math. Middle and high schoolers. Mostly I taught high school students, and I prepare my students for math competitions like International Math Olympiad, Balkan Math Olympiad, and others. And also I was interested for math counts and math congruent math contents. So I was also coaching my students for a long time. Currently, I'm teaching calculus and helping students for pre-calculus as well. And then I have some college level students. I'm teaching them for college algebra. In pre-calculus, let me tell this story. So pre-calculus is traditional, and now it is turned into AP pre-calculus. So what's the difference between traditional pre-cal and AP pre-cal? I could say that 60-70% is overlapping, same topics, but in AP pre-cal, we have one more topic, and the approach, the question style is different than traditional pre-cal. So that's why you need an AP pre-calculus separate than traditional. So we're gonna start the class in February 1st till April 26th. So 3:30 till 5:30, it's gonna be afternoon class, and there will be a break in March 8th. In this, the main purpose is to make you ready for AP pre-calculus test. So we're gonna have mostly, of course, instruction, and we're gonna look for some practice questions. So I have some past papers. We're gonna work for each question throughout the year. So, what is the homework? Of course, we're going to use the Canvas if you are familiar with the momentum learning. So you're going to have a great opportunity to get the recording of the video, recording of the day, video of the day, and then you're going to have instruction materials, presentation, and homework as well. And in the homework, I will provide you the solutions of the homework of the week. So by the end of the week, like Saturday or Friday, I will release the answer key for homework, so you can check. If you have any question, you will be able to ask me. So let me introduce what we're gonna do today. I will give some brief information about AP Pre-Calculus. So before starting, are you aware of what is the meaning of dual credit? What does dual credit mean? So dual credit means students can get high school credit and college credit at the same time in Texas or in other colleges, in other states. For example, AP is the best way to get a dual credit. So you're gonna take the course in the high school, like pre-calculus, like AP calculus, like AP biology. And then if you get the test, you get 3, 4, 5 out of 5. And then you can transfer that credit into college. So it's gonna help you to save the money, and you're gonna accelerate one course win-win. However, AP pre-calculus doesn't give you a college credit, but it is very recommended for most of the colleges. So, for example, there is an statistics here. This course, AP pre-cal and others, you can compare score distribution in AP pre-calculus. 26% of students got 5, 24% 4 out of 5, of course. 26 is 3. 2 and 1 counted as fail. So if you get 3, 4, 5, it means you pass the test. If you get 1 and 2, that means you fail. So it doesn't count. So whenever I compare AP Pre-Calculus and AP Calculus, Pre-Cal and AP Calculus, so it's very similar rates. However, of course, Pre-Calculus is a bit difficult, but most of the kids are taken during their junior or senior year, so they might have better results. I could say that AP Pre-Calc is not that much compared to AP Traditional. They are very similar. However, now College Board make it a little bit different and slightly different styles, especially in questions. So that is a brief information. Of course, our purpose is not only getting 3, but also we are aiming 4 or 5. Here, what is the exam format? Exam format is very similar to AP Calculus. What's that? So there are 2 sections. In the section we're going to call as multiple choice section. There are 40 questions, 2 hours long. And 62.5% of exam scores. So multiple choice is more than the half of the test. Students are sometimes thinking multiple choice is better, easier. No, there is nothing such that, because you're gonna have very challenging questions. You need to use your calculator very effectively as well. And in section 1, you are going to have part A and B, and the number of questions you can easily see. And you can also see that part A, there are 28 questions, 43% of the exam, and calculator not permitted. That is the most challenging part of AP Pre-Calculus, I could say. In section 2, free response questions, they are very structured, they are very traditional, they're asking similar questions every year. We're going to work very closely. There are just 4 questions for 1 hour. 4 questions for 1 hour. So, of course, there is a question, a very long paragraph, I could say. There is question 1, A, B, C, D, E. You're going to respond. Even though it is one question, there are multiple questions in one question. Part B, we have again 2 questions, part A 2 questions, and calculator allowed or not. So graphing calculator is allowed, by the way, if you are familiar with the TI-84. So I will suggest you having a calculator TI-84, and I can send you a list of calculators which are allowed, so you can use only certain calculators. These are the basic chapters we can call unit 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can easily see that 30, 40, 27, they are equally distributed over the units. And something different than all other traditional calculus, pre-calculus, what is that? Unit 4. Unit 4, it is not asked, in the test. What does it mean? You're not going to be assessed in the test. It is very important topic, by the way. We have parameters, vectors, matrices. Maybe we're gonna talk about, but of course we're gonna cover in our classes. We're gonna learn. These topics gonna help you in calculus for the next year, also in college level. However, they are not in the test. So, unit 1, 2, 3. Any questions so far?
One more question. So may I have a question?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Unit 4 won't be like a test this year. Is that correct?
Excuse me again?
Yeah. According to the table, Unit 4 is saying not assessed on the AP exam. Does that mean this year it won't be test?
Yeah, it was always such that it's 2012 they have published this. The first test it was last year. They are not asking unit 4. So it's about a month long topic. They're not going to be responsible. So we're going to learn. I'm going to teach them because this subject is a kind of part of unit 1, 2, 3 and making them ready for calculus for the next year. Without this topic, it's not good. But yes, the question is to your question. Yeah, it is yes. There is no test. There is no assessment for unit 4. Only
Oh,
unit 1, 2, 3.
okay, now I understand. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you, sir. We appreciate it.
Okay, there's a question in the chat. Unit 3 says trigonometric polar function will other course specials be tested. No, the only polar coordinate is gonna be included. All right, so that's the breakdown of every week we're gonna do. Unit 1, 2, 3, 4. I have divided the units into subtopics. So some topics are a little bit longer than, of course, others. So for example, unit 1, week 1, 2, 3, 4, which is unit 1. Unit 2 is taking a little bit longer time than others. That's why just 2 weeks, 1 unit. It's unit 7, 8, 9, unit 3. And in the unit 4, which is not in the test, we're going to learn week 10, 11, 12. Also in the Canvas, in Momentum Learning portal, you're going to have 2 practice tests. So that's going to help you to have practice. So I'm going to also share some practice tests with you. So there are some companies that are doing free online practice tests. I would like to share with you all of them. So I don't want to bother you a lot. I'm not going to assign a lot of homework. Of course, every week we're going to have at least 1 homework. So if you want to get additional homework, I'm okay with that. Yeah, sure. Okay, that is the portal that we are using. Canvas, we call. So you're going to just click on the link and you're going to have a Zoom link. So week 1, 2, 3, you can easily see there are 12 weeks. And in each under the week, you're going to see the classroom materials. So module 1, 2, 3, you're going to see it here. So I just want to show you what is the official website gives an information to us. Here. It is the official website, College Board, of course. So you can see when you Google it, AP Precal, you're gonna see that in this, you're gonna see an overview and course and exam description. When you click on these two, you're gonna see some details what you're gonna do. And we have also resources. At a glance, I'm gonna go over with this, very useful. We're gonna need to go over with that. And course content, it is breaking down like I've done before. So you're gonna see what percentages for each topic. So you can easily see here, you see 1, 2, 3, there is no unit 4, and here it is. Yeah, so that's gonna help us. It is a kind of document we're gonna go over at a glance. Here it is. So unit 1, 2, 3, and 4 in here. And I want to talk about Unit 1. Unit 1 is very similar to traditional pre-cal. We're going to work on rates of change, polynomials, and it's a little bit related to algebra 2 as well. And then we're going to look for spatial functions. When we call spatial functions, we're going to look for rational functions, logarithmic functions, exponentials, etc. And for each spatial function, we're going to look at their attributes. When we call attributes, we're going to look for intercepts, horizontal and vertical asymptotes if we have, and then we're going to look for their, of course, there are some intersections we're going to look for. In this chapter 2, which is another logarithmic function we have here, and we're going to look in details. So there are some word problems, written problems we're going to look for in logarithmic functions. It is an important topic for pre-calculus, Unit 2. In Unit 3, that is, I could say that most students are struggling with this, which is trigonometry. When we call trigonometry, high school trigonometry is slightly different than middle school trigonometry. In the middle school or grade 9, students are learning only right triangle trigonometry. However, in pre-calculus, it's going to be included any angle trigonometry. That means we're going to learn what is sine 120, what is cosine 300, and then how we can get their graph, how we can show the waves, and how we're gonna get the transformation and translation as well. They are very important, especially when we have tangent and cotangent students are a little bit struggling. And there are a lot of formulas. We're gonna go over each of them separately, one by one. We're gonna spend most of our time in trigonometry, I could say. Unit 4, it is not in the test. You see 0% in AP weighted. However, it is an important topic. Again, parametric equations, functions, they're a part of calculus. There's a chapter, I could say, related to parametric function in calculus. So, if you are taking AP Precal next year, that means calculus. So you need to be ready for that. And then implicit function, that is important, especially in derivative topic, again, in calculus. We're going to learn how to get derivative of functions which are implicit functions. That's why this information, this knowledge needed prior to calculus. Conic sections, vectors, matrices, and of course, transformations and linear transformation and matrices together we're going to look for. And in the last, we're going to look for modeling. Especially in real life scenario, we're going to talk for matrices. Matrix is not that difficult, honestly. Unit 4 is not that difficult, but we can skip this topic, even though it's not asked in the test. Okay, that is all what we have unit by unit. So in the last portion of our open house, I want to show you some sample questions. What kind of questions they're asking. So here it is again in the website of College Board, its official website. This is an official practice test. You can Google and you can see what kind of questions are asked. There are two sections, section A and section B, as you remember. In the section 1, there are two parts, part A and part B. And part A is the most important part. You remember that it is 42%. Let's see, where was it? It was in here, I guess. You just look at up to 30 to 40%. So here you go. So part A is I could say again, the hardest, difficult part for students. So for example, a specific question for the question section 1, part A, given a polynomial function, a special function. The question is, what are all intervals on which p of x is bigger than 0? So they are going to ask you some straightforward questions. Some questions are multiple step questions. For this, for example, it's a very straightforward question that is not difficult. We're going to show it in sign table, plus minus table. We can make it in 2-3 minutes. No, it's just 30 seconds question. Very straightforward question. I want to show you a specific question. For example, another question for the section A, it is reading graph. So the graph is given and we're gonna look for the graph. According to the graph, there is no math in this. We're gonna just read the graph. What does that mean in curve? Up and down, fall and rise. So there is nothing math here algebraically. However, we're gonna look for what is the meaning of curves, upward or downward, or concave up or down. So it's again very basic question. And here it is, limits. Limits is an important topic, I could say, for pre-calculus as well. We're gonna use in definition of derivative for the next year. So we're gonna look for very straightforward question. It's all about behavior of a function at infinity we call. We're gonna look for very straightforward substitution here. It is a kind of 1 minute long question. I want to show you something a little bit longer. Here it is. Yeah. So students are spending a little bit time for this question, for example. Why? Because we have a graph. According to graph, we have a transformation. You need to count each square carefully. That's why you should be careful, and you are using, if it is allowed, calculator. For this, it's not. So you're gonna go up and down, right and left, and then you're gonna make this choice A, B, C, D. Okay, now let's have a look at the question type for B, section B. Here it is for polar coordinates. That's the last, yeah. In section B, you can easily see that section B is very wordy, right? Longer questions, like SAT questions. There will be a scenario. According to the scenario, you're gonna respond to questions. And then it seems like a physics class. It's like an application of trigonometry, graphing, functions in math in real life scenarios. And here it is, another question. You see there is again a scenario and a story, and their question is about how we can interpret this information. And in the last portion, I want to just show you section 2. In the section 2, oh, it's not, yeah. However, just for your information, College Board doesn't release all the questions, past papers. Some questions are released, some are not. Especially free response questions, they do not share that much. Most they share multiple choice questions. But there are a lot of websites you can have a look and we can have some practices. So I just want to show you again Momentum Learning platform. All right, you can see my screen. This is teacher's dashboard, of course. So here it is. I think you have a similar view. You're gonna see week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Any week you are in, you can click week 2 and you're gonna see the all the materials. In each material, for now, yours is empty. I'm gonna publish it. Once I publish it, you're gonna see the material of the week. So first thing, you're gonna see lesson note, what I'm teaching you, instruction part. In the second, you're gonna see a homework. The homeworks are interactive. It means you are gonna have a test. Once you click your test, answer gonna pop up. For example, for this, I don't have a test for now. I just wanna demonstrate how it looks like. For now, I'm gonna release the first, for example, homework. Let's assume that we are in the week 1. I publish it. In the homework 1, you're gonna see it. Let me see how it looks like. Yeah, I can't see as a student, I'm sorry. Maybe you can see now, and you're gonna have a test, multiple choice questions. Mostly they are with 10 questions, A, B, C, D, whatever it is. When you submit, you're gonna see your correct answers and mistakes. So that's very useful. That's it. So far, that's all about AP Pre-Calculus. My students are saying that AP Pre-Calculus is not that difficult. This is, last year it was the first test given. Nowadays it's becoming more popular than before. Even though it doesn't give you a college credit, it's becoming very important. When you apply a college, so your resume is important. What subjects you are taking important. What test you got, like AP Pre-Calculus, Calculus, what you get, 3, 4, 5. So they are gonna be helping you when you apply a college. Nowadays, in US, that is the time for applications of universities. It's over in December, by the end of December. And we're expecting good news from our students. And most of our students who got AP tests with a good result, not 3, 4 or 5, they had a good acceptance rate, I could say, compared to others. GPA is one of the most important, of course, but GPA all alone doesn't help you to get a good college and study. So you can apply, let's say, Rice University and Ivy League University. Yeah, that's good. It's not only enough what you are taking. So what tests you have taken, especially AP is most prestigious test, I could say, other than other like UT on-ramps or dual credits from community colleges. They are very good credential. However, AP is the most acceptable and accepted test result as well. So that's all about AP Pre-Calculus. Okay. The first class starting in February 1st till April 26th. We're gonna have 12 classes. It's very long, I know. And during these 12 classes, there will be 2 practice tests. It's gonna be in Canvas, so you're gonna have a practice test. So if you are asking me more resources, I can share with you. Sure. That's it for today. If you have any questions, I'm here responding your questions, of course.